Welcome to another teacher tip with Mr. Long, and we're going to look at a really cool website, particularly if you are a maths teacher or even a maths student. A really useful tool that you can use to visually display a lot of mathematical concepts. And I don't think I can even show you all the wonderful things that this thing can do, but I'm just going to give you a taste of it. All you have to do is go to mathagon.org. That's the website that you must go to. And on the front page, we're going to use the Polypad. Now, this is a completely free tool to use. You don't need to log on. You only need to create an account if you want to save or share tools in that you are going to create. But you can really just use it on the fly in your classroom. So once you go to Mathagon, you just have to go to the Launch the Polypad option. But just on a side note, as of April of 2024, Mathagon are merging with a company called Amplify. So I'm not sure what their address is going to be in the future. But in case Mathagon's not available, then look for Amplify. So if you go to this address, polypad.amplify.com, you'll also be able to access that same Polypad. So make sure you go either to mathagon.org or polypad.amplify.com to be able to access the Polypad launch. And it takes you to this. You have this on your projector, and then you can just play around. So we can just do a couple of things, and you can start to see the power of this wonderful tool. So there's a whole bunch of polygons and shapes. So you can put these shapes onto your screen, so we can drag them there. Over here, we can come to more tools, and we can scale it if you want to make it a bit bigger, or you can specify the value inside it. But you can click on it, you can copy them, you can delete it, you can even play. And it just shows you the four sides. You can drag other shapes on if you want as well. You can even rotate them a little bit if you need to. So you've got access to all these wonderful shapes and customize them if you want by making them a bit bigger and so on. You can even change the color over here. There are other drawing tools over here where you can click on a particular type of pen and you can say, hey, this one needs to come over here. Obviously specifying the color of your text. And you can actually show that you're drawing certain things. You can add construction tools, like you can draw certain lines between certain items. You can even draw a rectangle if you want by highlighting certain things. And you can even type in an equation. So I want to show you the useful tool over here. So over here, when we type in equation, you can set fractions or exponents or square roots. So let's go x. And now I want to make it to the power of 2. And then I'll press an arrow to be out of the power, and I'll press -9. So there is my equation. And now that I've got my equation, you can obviously make it bigger or shrink it if you need to. But what's really useful is you can actually graph that particular equation. So if I graph it, it actually creates a graph and it puts a link there to show you this is what the graph looks like. So if I make the y-axis slightly bigger, you can actually see that it's actually there crossing at the 9. So there's our nice little graph tool. So some really useful tools there. You can export it as an image if you want to save it as a particular picture that you've still got it. I wouldn't want to do it for this because it looks very messy. But you can zoom in if you want and zoom out. And you can actually pan to the side if you want to get to a clear area as well. You can even put on some grids if you want, where you can see the grids and use that for part of your graphing. So I'm going to say no for that. But that's just the geometry tools. If I come here, there's so many other things that you can do. For example, you can do number bars. You can do number lines if you want to put in a number line. So let's go put on a number line. You can specify what the steps are. You can specify where it's starting at. Maybe we want to go to -5. And then we can come here and grab some particular lines. And then we can actually specify that that's from 3 until then. There are number grids. There are prime factor circles. So really useful tools there under numbers. If you want to go to fractions, maybe you want a fraction bar. And you can specify if that bar, for example, if we want a third, you can specify whether it's percentages or if it is in decimal numbers. And you can go up or down based on those buttons. You can even split it, and then you can actually separate them if you want to use them individually. So click on one and just move that one, and you can use this as part of some sort of demonstration. And you can change each one's color, individual color as well. So that's fractions. There are algebra tiles available to you. Balance scales. Probability and data. Maybe you want to do a particular, for example, dice. You can actually put a dice onto your screen. You can roll it a couple of times. So there's a 5, roll it again. There we got a 3. And when you can table, you can actually table how often the 3 has been rolled. But if we roll it now, because we've got a 6, you'll see the 6 has now increased. And we can keep going. There's a 4. So it's updating our table. And you can do that with a coin or a random number generator as well. So you can randomize and it generates a number. You can specify what that range of numbers must be. Maybe you want to do like a lottery example where we go from 1 to 49 and just keep randomizing a number and use that to work out the probability of getting a particular lotto number. But really useful things. There's even charts and statistics there you can use, playing cards, And there's even a couple of games and applications like chess, logic and computing. For those of you who remember your logic gates, if you did that at computing, currencies, clocks, even dominoes are over here. I cannot emphasize how many features are available here for a maths teacher of any grade. There are so many wonderful tools that you can use here. It's free to use. You don't have to even register, but if you do, it does allow you to be able to save your work. But if you don't, you can also just export it as an image in the meantime, and that's really useful. If you want to go further into this particular website, I recommend that when you go to the main mathagon.org, you go to Getting Started, and it'll take you to here where it talks about it, and there are lots of videos here which will explain how to use the different functionality. So this Polypad, I really recommend you can go to mathagon.org, a wonderful resource for a teacher, especially in the maths fields. So go check it out, mathagon.org. If you want to learn about other websites and artificial intelligence tools that can help you in the classroom, make sure you click on that subscribe button and share us with your friends so we can help your fellow teachers as well. And remember to leave a comment, and don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.